Hello, welcome to the 2011 through 2012 NFL regular season schedule, Week 6 picks. We're going to start off between Carolina at Atlanta at 12 o'clock Central Time on Fox. Looking to bounce back from another disappointing defeat, the Falcons could face another stiff challenge Sunday when they host the improving Carolina Panthers in rookie quarterback Cam Newton's first professional game in his home state. Saddled with lofty expectations, Atlanta, who was 2-3, has already lost as many games this season as they did while going 13-3 in 2010 through 2011. An inconsistent offense and an underachieving defense can pretty much summarize the Falcons' rough start. An offensive line that could be without injured center Tom McClure for a fourth time this season has not only struggled in run blocking but also has yielded 14 sacks. Veteran wideout Steve Smith has been a favorite for Newton with 609 receiving yards, which is second in the NFL. Smith, who has already surpassed his yardage total of 554 from 2010 through 2011, has caught 16 passes for 299 yards in his last two games at the Georgia Dome. Atlanta fans, it's time to hit the panic button already. Panthers 22, Falcons 20. At 12 o'clock Central Time on CBS, it's Indianapolis at Cincinnati. The Colts look to salvage a superficial milestone during a winless Peyton-less season. They haven't lost to Cincinnati since 1997, and in the Bengals' most recent victory of the series, Boomer Esiason came off the bench to lead a comeback win over the Kelly Holcomb-led Colts. What you should watch for is Painter versus Painter. Yes, I said that right. The third-year quarterback has already been the league's best in the first half, with an NFL-high 133.0 passer rating before halftime. But the second half is a different story. His 72.4 rating in the second half is consistent with Indianapolis' late collapses. They have either been tied or ahead in the fourth quarter in each of their previous three games. Coincidence? Yes. Bengals 29, Colts 25. At 12 o'clock Central Time on Fox, it's San Francisco at Detroit. Lions quarterback Matthew Stafford has thrown at least 2 touchdown passes in 7 games in a row, tying Milt Plum's franchise record set in 1964 through 1965. The 49ers are thriving on a strong run defense and a plus 10 turnover differential, but Lions running back Javid Best will be an important outlet wide receiver to keep Stafford out of constant third and long situations. No one has found an answer for wide receiver Charles Johnson, who has an NFL record 9 touchdown catches through 5 games. And San Francisco has to pick its poison because the Lions have 2 quality tight ends who present mismatches over the middle of the field. Lions 36, 49ers 29. At 12 o'clock Central Time on Fox, it's St. Louis at Green Bay. If the Rams could have their way, I think they would just assume they'd take another bye week as they travel to Green Bay on Sunday to face the undefeated Packers. Aaron Rodgers has picked apart opposing defenses with ease and leading the Green Bay Packers to their best start in nearly 50 years. Things don't seem likely to go any differently against a winless St. Louis Rams team that is without both starting corners. Green Bay fans might also be expecting another Super Bowl. The Packers improved to 5-0 for the first time since 1965 and the 7th time in franchise history. Each of the previous 6, Green Bay went on to win an NFL title. That might be saying a lot since now Green Bay is being hunted down by Detroit, but make no mistake, Packers 40, Rams 16. At 12 o'clock Central Time on Fox, it's Philadelphia at Washington. Mike Shanahan is notorious for both his ability to elicit production from previous unheralded, if not unknown, running backs, and for his penchant to ride the hot hand. So despite a quick start from Tim Hightower, whom the Redskins traded for in the offseason, Ryan Torain could be the bell cow for a Redskins offense that relies on running the football effectively. Torain rushed for 135 yards on only 19 carries in the Redskins' win over the St. Louis Rams heading into their bye week. Of course, knowing Shanahan, rookie Roy Hilo might just lead the team in carries against an Eagles defense that has struggled against the run this season. Torain though, as a bruiser of a running back who actually had some success against the Eagles last season at Lincoln Financial Field when he ran for 80 yards and a touchdown. Expect the Redskins to rely on the ground game against an Eagles defense that has allowed 140 yards per game on the ground, 30th in the league. Redskins 34, Eagles 20. At 12 o'clock Central Time on CBS, it's Buffalo at the G-Men. This isn't as much of a football analysis as it is an appreciation for one of the greatest secrets of the NFL. And that secret's name is George Wilson. The Bills' safety can do it all, and if you watched this past Sunday's game against the Philadelphia Eagles, I'm guessing a lot of you didn't because the Giants were playing at the same time, you saw indeed that he did it all. Wilson played high and played low. He covered, he came off the edge on blitzes, flew up to provide run support, made tackles in the open field, and even had an interception off a deflection. Wilson, a former undrafted free agent of the Detroit Lions, has 3 interceptions so far this year and 9 since the start of the 2009 through 2010 season. I'd be lying to you if I said I watched him closely over the past few years, but from what I've seen from this guy is that he can flat out play, and he's a smart team leader as well. The 30-year-old Wilson hasn't gotten a ton of pub because, yes, he plays for the Buffalo Bills. But with that being said, each well-played game in a Buffalo victory will introduce him to more and more NFL fans. Sunday will be his introduction to Giants fans, so keep an eye on number 37. Bills 24, Giants 18. At 12 o'clock Central Time on CBS, it's Jacksonville at Pittsburgh. The Steelers, who are 3-2, were thought by many analysts to be washed up after the losses to the Ravens and the Texans, as they bounced back with a 38-17 rout of Tennessee last weekend. The Jaguars, who are 1-4, are 0-3 since inserting rookie quarterback Blaine Gabbert into the starting lineup. He faces a Steelers defense that allowed just 306 total yards to the Titans despite missing linebacker James Harrison of an orbital and corner Bryant McFadden, who could return this week from a hamstring injury. Could you just imagine how dizzy Pittsburgh will be now that they will get those 1 or 2 players back? Steelers 37, Jaguars 17. At 3:05 Central Time on CBS, it's Houston at Baltimore. The Texans looked like a legitimate AFC contender after the first 4 weeks of the regular season. But a loss to Oakland last week, combined with a season-ending injury to All-Pro defensive end and converted linebacker Mario Williams, has Gary Kubiak's team under hot water. Unfortunately, it just won't get any easier for the Texans when they travel to Baltimore this weekend for a matchup against the 3-1 Ravens. Baltimore, on the other hand, will likely be up to the challenge as the Ravens feature the number 1 ranked defense in fantasy football. The last time that these two teams met back in 2010 through 2011 was when Baltimore won a 34-28 overtime thriller on an interception return for a touchdown. Look for Baltimore's defense to seize control again. Ravens 38, Texans 26. At 3:05 Central Time on CBS, it's Cleveland at Oakland. One of the biggest matchups between these two teams is not on offense or on defense, but instead is on the special teams, as Josh Cribbs faces the big foot of Sebastian Janikowski. Janikowski, or better known as Seabass, is known for having a kicking leg not seen in NFL history in a long time, and he can hit one 50-plus yard field goal attempt after another. In fact, he did that just last weekend and nailed 3 50-plus yard field goals in the Raiders' victory. Those 3 field goals tied an NFL record for most 50-plus yard field goals in a single game. Cribbs, on the other hand, is the NFL record holder for most kickoffs returned for a touchdown in a career, and he faces a kicker who never needed the league to move the kickoff spot before this season. The Browns' defense will also face a big challenge against Oakland's number 2 ranked rushing attack, led by running back Darren McFadden. Cleveland's rush defense is ranked number 25 in the NFL. Cribbs versus Seabass, and the Raiders' run attack versus the Browns' defense are where this game will be won or lost. One shall stand, one shall fall in Oakland on Sunday. Raiders 31, Browns 20. At 3:15 Central Time on Fox, it is Dallas at New England. Obviously, Dallas needs all hands on deck against Brady, Welker, and the NFL's most potent passing offense. Skandrick will mostly cover Welker, who has 45 catches for 740 yards and 5 touchdowns, and is on pace to break the NFL mark for yards in a season. 1,848 by Jerry Rice and catches 143 by Marvin Harrison. Brady has won 30 consecutive regular season home games, and he has not tasted a regular season defeat in Foxborough since losing to the Jets on November 12, 2006. I will expect a rumble from the Cowboys' healthy corners, but New England prevails in what could be a scare. Patriots 30, Cowboys 29. At 3:15 Central Time on Fox, it's New Orleans at Tampa Bay. Reggie who? Sproles leads the NFC in all-purpose yards with 804, and his 31 receptions trail only Graham among the Saints. Though the Buccaneers have had no game plan for Reggie Bush in the past, Sproles has performed the jack-of-all-trades role even better and could even seriously stress Tampa's defense and coverage units, neither of which looked very good last week in San Francisco. Saints 33, Buccaneers 24. At 7:20 Central Time on NBC, it's Sunday Night Football between my Vikings and heated rival, the Chicago Bears. The Bears! One of the only things the Chicago Bears can take away from their drubbing at the hands of the Detroit Lions is that at least they will not have to go back there soon. Next up for Chicago is the game at home against the Vikings on Sunday night. Suddenly, the game has turned into a must-win for the Bears. Minnesota, who is 1-4, comes into Chicago fresh off a 34-10 rout of the Cardinals at home after getting off to its slowest start in years. The drama surrounding McNabb seems to have subsided. Well, at least for the moment. Thank God. And the issue of AP's carries was also tabled as the perennial All-Pro rushed for 122 yards and 3 touchdowns on 29 carries. Of course, all of this could change with a subpar performance in the Windy City on Sunday night. The problem will be exacerbated by the presence of Jared Allen and a swarming defensive line that is tied for second in the league with 16 sacks. Allen and company will be set on making it another long night for Cutler and the much-maligned line. But I have this instinct that my mind is pushing me with mind over matter. Bears 27, Vikings 23. And then finally, concluding Week 6 of the 2011 to 2012 NFL regular season schedule on Monday Night Football, it's Miami at the New York Jets. Brian may be taking some solace in the fact that the Jets have rebounded from difficult stretches in each of the last 2 seasons since he was hired. They dropped 3 in a row twice during a 7-game stretch in 2009 through 2010 and lost 3 of 5 to cap the 2010 through 2011 regular season. Both times, the Jets shrugged off those stretches to end up in the AFC Championship game. Facing the Dolphins, who are 0-4, would have seemed to be a good way for the Jets to avoid their longest slide since a 6-game skid in 2007. But they've dropped 3 in a row and 4 of 5 overall to their division rival. Miami's offense, meanwhile, hasn't produced more than 16 points in its last 3 games, and any success they have on Monday may need to come early. Outspoken wide receiver Brandon Marshall, who was diagnosed earlier this year with borderline personality disorder, said this week he has been keeping his emotions in check thus far, but plans to change that against the Jets. I don't think that any garbage like that will happen during the game itself. But post-game, whoa, hold on a minute. Remember when Ryan said about 1 year ago that he has walked through tougher guys in a bar fight than one Channing Crowder? Well, let's see what shootout we'll have in post-game. Let's bookmark it. Jets 32, Dolphins 19. And that concludes my 2011 through 2012 NFL regular season schedule, Week 6 picks. Thanks for tuning in this week. Enjoy it.